Hey guys, EDDBUD here. It's been a while. I think it's time for another episode of the running news. I know you guys dig the running news. If you're enjoying the channel and you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications too of when we launch those new videos for you. It really does help us out as well if you give this video a thumbs up like. Dankeschön. First story on the running news today. Nike once again are throwing a bit of shade towards some of their competitors. They produced some amazing marketing over the years and they're still doing it in 2021. They released this image of their latest track spike, which appears to have almost no branding whatsoever. It's just a white blank canvas version. Well, obviously it's not made of canvas, so I'm not entirely sure that's the best material for athletics footwear these days, but you catch my drift on this one though, guys. If you look very carefully, there is a very light swoosh that leads through to the toe box area of the spike, but it's barely visible. I mean, you've got to really look. I think on the feet of athletes moving at a considerable pace, you probably wouldn't see it. The text to accompany the images here suggests that they're very aware many athletes are utilising their track spikes or training shoes or race shoes, and to avoid sponsorship issues, they've been blanking them out. They've been using masking tape, paint, and all sorts of other stuff to try and eliminate or conceal the famous swoosh logo. So with this one, they just don't have to. It's just kind of blank. They even give out Buck Knight's address on here, where he says that if you feel there's some other ways that Nike can help you be faster, you can let him know. It's got Nike's world headquarters address there. I found that quite humorous. I'm sure Adidas and Puma and the rest of the gang have got their typewriters out and they're gonna send Buck some letters very soon. They're composing very strong responses. I bet Adidas have got someone else lined up. You know it. All of them have. So what do you make of this ad, guys? Is this a step too far? Is this Nike goading the other brands? Or a nod to athletes themselves? Just saying, yeah, we don't need to even put the swoosh on our shoes anymore. Let me know what you make of all of this down in the comments. Story 2 for today is another swoosh related story. Nike looks set to drop a very interesting React-based carbon plate shoe. They suggest that the React SFB carbon is for elite military or outdoor athletes. Well, I'm an outdoor athlete. I'm not sure I'd ever qualify as elite military though. I just don't have the constitution, I don't think, or the discipline. There's both high or low versions of this new React midsole shoe. Almost looks like a trail Zoom Fly to me. I'm not sure what the weight is, but that's certainly what it looks like. I did see at a recent event, the Western States, that there was a trail-based Nike shoe there that no one had seen before. I don't think this is it though. Looks like they're going to put in a carbon plate there within the midsole to minimise fatigue, but also provide a bit of a stable platform for various different activities. There's lots of aggressive outsole tread on this one as well. Really reminiscent of the Terracotta 7, but also the Pegasus 38. Nike reckon that the plate included here is also going to act as a rock shield to protect your feet from those sharp stones. And it also looks like it's going to use that midfoot wrap that Nike is so in love with these days. We've seen it on the Pegasus 38 and also on the Terracotta 7 and the Zoom Fly 3 actually. So it does draw heavily from those three shoes. I think this one isn't out yet. I think it's going to be released relatively soon for around about 140 American Earth credits. Probably not something I'm going to pick up. I think this falls into one of those strange mid categories between like a trail shoe and like a everyday sort of daily shoe, and I've got enough shoes. I've got to try and limit myself a little bit. I've got to try and rein things in. Like I did with the Boston 10, you know, I said I wasn't going to review it and it arrives tomorrow. I'm useless. Are you in the elite military? Or do you partake in outdoor activities? And will you be buying this one? Let me know. It does look like the sort of shoe that B.A. Baracus would rock. I think he could get a few miles out of that one. Maybe not now, but, you know, back in the 80s. Story 3. I want to give a shout out to Joe. He's asked me to include this one in the running news for you. I haven't done a running news for a couple of weeks, I think, so here it is for you, Joe. Some superb South African running going on last month, right at the end of May. So we're talking the ultra marathon distance here. Hervet van Sail Hopefully I've said that correctly. Joe did his best to give me like a training session on that one. She managed a superb time of 3 hours and 4 minutes, 23 seconds. Very close to Des Linden's world record time over that distance, where she just managed to dip in under 3 hours, though Yvette's time would have easily beat the previous record that was held. I think that was set back in 2019. So a national record for Yvette. Fantastic running, and also the second fastest time for the women's race over that distance. The men's record though was actually broken by an Ethiopian athlete in this race, Katima Nagasa. Sorry if I've pronounced it wrong, guys. I do my best. He came in 2 hours, 42 minutes and 7 seconds. Amazing running, beating the previous record by 23 seconds. So I think previously he's raced the marathon distance quite a few times, but it looks as if his future may well be in the 50k or 31-mile distance. Imagine an average pace of 3 minutes 15 seconds per kilometre over that distance. Just think about that for a second. I can't even imagine it. Fantastic running, and thanks Joe for letting us know about that one. Story 4. So last one of the day, sadly, famous British athlete and distance runner Mo Farah didn't quite make that Olympic qualifying time. He fell just short of the qualifying time for the 10k in a specially arranged race last week. I think he was about 19 seconds off in his attempt, so he was a little bit closer than the other qualifying attempt he had a few weeks back. He clearly showed some disappointment there. He did look really upset, and he almost seemed to say goodbye a little bit with a lap of honour there. He got quite upset in the interview. He mentioned if you're not really challenging those top runners, then what's the point? Which was really sad to hear him say that. I remember the Olympics back in 2012 and watching Mo in those races. So many fantastic moments that we've seen from Mo Farah. Some amazing road running moments as well. Some incredible finishes. He did look completely spent on the last section of that race. The commentators did suggest actually that he might have been suffering from a bit of a cold. Maybe he'd had a bit of a reaction to his COVID vaccination. But I don't think the cold and windy conditions in Manchester really helped either. So Mo won't be joining the likes of Steph Tweel at the Olympics, sadly. What a career though, and you do wonder whether if he hadn't got that ankle injury that we would be talking about Mo going to the Olympics. Would he have made it? I think probably yes. You could see he wasn't running in a free kind of fashion towards the end of that race like we've seen him before. That Mo Farah kick was the thing that people always used to see, and it hasn't been there the last couple of races. So many injuries right now across all sports and disciplines actually. I think it's perhaps some overtraining, or perhaps people haven't been able to train in a normal fashion that they would do. There's obviously lots of restrictions still in place. I don't think anybody can say that it's been the ideal build-up to an Olympics whatsoever. There's still a lot of indecision about what's going on with it. So let's hope that gets straightened out and we do get to see some fantastic events occurring in July. Okay, that's all the running news for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. A quick musical interlude for you. Right, way back in 2008, I picked up an album by a band called Cajun Dance Party. It was called The Colourful Life. It had really cool covers, some flowers on there, some sunflowers I think they are. The band sound a little bit like a slightly more together version of the Libertines, I suppose. A couple of standout tracks on this one are The Colourful Life and The Race. So quite drama-filled indie pop here, very British sounding, some interesting song lyrics and titles, and just generally quite exciting guitar work on here. I think Bernard Butler might have had something to do with this one, maybe he produced it. But it's certainly right up there with some of those tracks of the time. I'm not sure what happened to them. There's only one album that I can find at all by the band, but do go and check them out. I think you'll enjoy it. Something a little obscure, something that you perhaps would never have thought to listen to. Cajun Dance Party, The Colourful Life. Okay, thanks for tuning in and sticking with me to the very end, Outsole observers. If you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications when I roll those new videos out for you. It should go ping, and then you can go and check it out. We here at the channel, Beast included, would be very pleased if you give this video a thumbs up like, and also if you share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you